Entrepreneurship, business success is an absolute battle. And many of you are going on the battlefield with a squirt gun and not even realizing it.
Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show.
Success is available to everyone. However, it is guaranteed to no one. Hey guys, my name is Bedros Keuilian. Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show. Got a great episode teed up for you today about success. Now, success specifically to me means in every area of life: family, health, fitness, finances, faith, fulfillment, right? However, we're going to isolate it down to finances, as in business success, financial success. And the reason I want to really talk on this is because right now I'm having so many entrepreneurs reaching out to me and saying, look, it is hard times. People aren't spending money. They're not buying my product. They're not buying my service. There's too much competition, inflation, interest rates. And because of all those factors, I'm having a harder time running ads, keeping employees, keeping my product on, in front of my audience, etc. What do I do? And here's what I have to tell you, man. Success is available to everyone, but it is guaranteed to no one. And you must understand that, because it doesn't matter if it's a great economy or if it's a crappy economy. We as entrepreneurs, we as dreamers, we as innovators, we as people who are problem solvers and creators need to constantly be focused on one thing. And that one thing is to constantly push through adversity. Because make no mistake about it, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're running a business and you are looking to make more money and give your family and yourself financial freedom, well, if the economy is great, guess what? You're dealing with more competition, right? People have more options to buy. If the competition is not around because it's hard times and the economy's not doing well, then you're like, well, the economy's not doing well. I don't have a lot of competition, but there's not a lot of money around for people to spend. So you have to understand, whether good economy or bad economy, it's difficult to be successful. It is difficult to be financially successful. And think about all great things in life. Aren't all the best things in life difficult to achieve? I can tell you this, that abs are difficult to achieve. Easy to maintain, difficult to achieve, because it takes zero motivation, zero self-inspiration, zero discipline to sit on the couch and keep eating bonbons. However, it takes absolute motivation, dedication, discipline, consistency, focus, pushing through adversity to get up, to stop making excuses, to go to the gym, to train every day, and to eat clean, and to eat in a way that burns fat, maintains muscle, to get those abs. You know that to be true, right? You do know that to be true, that it is easier to be fat than fit. It is easier to be broke than financially secure. It is easier to be single than in a healthy, loving, beautiful relationship. It is easier to be dumb and dopey and dependent than to be a free-thinking savage who has the world at their beck and call, right? Because you may have done something to build a network. You may have done something to get people to love and respect you. You may have done something to get people to pay you because you've added value to the world. You've solved problems for the world, right? I guess in a way, another way to say this is, you are what you eat, you look like you live, and you earn what you're worth, right? If you've never heard that before, think about those things. You are what you eat. Like, your body is a representation of how you eat. Your looks are a representation of how you live. You look like you live. And you earn what you're worth. And what I mean by that is, you earn what you believe your self-worth is. And if you have low self-worth, if you believe that you don't have much to bring to humanity, you don't have any problems to solve, you don't have any new ways to innovate and make life better for people, a product or a service to sell that's going to change and transform lives, then you're not going to be able to exchange anything for money. And that is what we do as entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter if it's my Fit Body Bootcamp franchise. It doesn't matter if it's TRULEAN supplements. It doesn't matter if it's this Fuel Hunt brand, right, of apparels. It doesn't matter if it's my coaching consulting services, my experiential events, if it's the software company, Fit Pro Tracker. It really doesn't matter what the product is. and what the industry is for, because you name the industry and it's competitive. It's competitive in the franchising space. It's competitive in the supplement space. It's competitive in the apparel space. It's competitive in the software space. It's competitive in the coaching space. And I'm in all 5 of those industries. And my companies are thriving not because I have some magic sauce, because I did and continue to do what I'm about to share with you. And so understand that success is available to everyone, but it is guaranteed to no one. And I think this is the biggest misunderstanding that so many of you have. You think that because you came up with an idea that is a good idea, by working towards that idea and launching a social media page, a website, buying some of the product and putting it on a shelf and having inventory, or creating a course or a coaching program, that should guarantee you success. It doesn't. All of those things do nothing to guarantee success. I'll give you an example in a very interesting way. And I don't know much about sports, but I know enough about sports to tell you this. Think about a top basketball player. Let's think about Dwayne Wade, right? Dwayne Wade. He gets paid well. And he has many jobs on the court. He has many jobs on the court. He needs to be fast. He needs to be able to jump. He needs to have good hand-eye coordination. He needs to be able to block, defend. He needs to be able to pass. He needs to be able to dribble. But he doesn't get paid for any of that. What he gets paid for is to put the ball in the basket. And putting the ball in the basket one time doesn't make him the millions that he gets paid, doesn't make him high demand like he is. You have to understand that, right? There's many things that you have to do to become successful. The number one thing you need to do is sell more of your product or service consistently, consecutively over a long haul. If you can do that, you will be rich. Creating the product or service does nothing. It's just part of who you are. Like Dwayne Wade has to be able to sprint and pass and defend and block and shoot. But unless ball goes into basket consistently over and over and over again in a reliable fashion, no teams are going to pay him the obscene amount of money that he gets paid as an athlete. And so unless you can make the product, make the website, create the social media platforms, put out the social media content, do it for a prolonged period of time, hire the people, lead the people, make the funnels, run the ads, get the leads, do the follow-up for those leads, to get them on the phone or to get them in front of you or to make the site so conversion friendly that people buy. That's the only time you make money. We make money as entrepreneurs when people buy. That's it. That's it. All the other things are a byproduct of being an entrepreneur. And they're hard. They're not easy. That's why I say success is not guaranteed. It's available to you. Especially in the United States, it's available to you. However, it's not guaranteed because you also have to deal with other things, right? With other things. Some of those other things that aren't business related are still the source of resistance because let's face it, all of that is resistance. Making a product gives you resistance. Running ads gives you resistance because you're like, hey, all right, I'm going to run ads, make an offer, and then I'm going to push them to a website or to an application for a phone call. And I hope that these ads convert. And I hope that these people buy once they get on the phone with me or once they get to the website. All of that is resistance. I mean, you might do all of those things and then people end up not buying because you're not really delivering a great sales presentation. You're not really delivering a great argument into why they should buy from you instead of think about it, talk to their spouse, go look at their finances, check their schedule, right? You've heard all the objections. All those objections are resistance. But you have to understand there's all types of resistance. And I want to break down the resistance that you're going to deal with as an entrepreneur into 2 different categories. And the first type of resistance that you're going to deal with is just metaphorically, I want you to just picture a bear, right? I want you to picture a bear. And when you're picturing a bear, I want you to picture yourself as though you have this mountain to climb as an entrepreneur. And the higher you go up this mountain, the more money you make, the more liked you are, and the more profits you make from that money. Because that's a whole nother source of resistance, isn't it? Like, there's companies out there that are making $2 million, $3 million, $4 million a month or more, and they are not making any profit. Revenue feeds the ego, profits feed the family. There are plenty of times that you're generating a ton of revenue, but you're putting that revenue back into the company to buy more inventory, to beef up your sales funnel, to get more staff and team members on board, to create many different SKUs. And so you find out that, hey man, even though I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or millions of dollars a month, I'm not making any profit. I've had many coaching clients who have come and done the domination year coaching with me. And when they're on the phone going through the sales process to see if they are qualified to work with me, we find out that they're doing 2, 3, 4 million a month. Some are doing 2, 3, 400,000 a month. And they're very proud of those numbers. And you should be. Those are good numbers. I mean, there's people buying your product. That's awesome. But then when we ask them, what are your profit margins on that? Very quickly, they go, not much. And Leighton, who talks to them on the phone to see if they're going to be a good fit for my coaching program, it's like, hey, listen, man, you might be making $2, $3 million a month, but if there's no profits or you're barely breaking even after paying yourself a modest salary, like, you do realize you could be making more money as a well-paid employee, right? And so you have to understand that resistance shows up in many ways. And your job as an entrepreneur is not only to make money, to produce revenue, but to have so much revenue that some of that is profit in a way that it's a big, generous amount for you and your family to justify all the work you have to do as a leader, as an entrepreneur, all the risks you have to take, all the adversity you have to face, all of these setbacks that you have to push through. Otherwise, what's the trade-off? I mean, you could very easily go be an employee, get a 401k and work 9 to 5 and have a salary and, have days off, not have to think about the problems that a boss has to think about. So you need to make more money, a lot more money, 5x, 10x, 20x, 100x what you would be making as an employee to justify entrepreneurship. So because you think like, wait, I came up with a great idea and there's nothing like this out there, again, does not guarantee you success. Can you get it in front of the audience? Can you prove to the audience that they need it? Can you get the audience to buy enough of it to make revenue? Can you control your operational cost, your overhead costs, your cost of goods so that you have profits left when you're done paying everybody? Your rent, your mortgage, if you have a building, employees, marketing expenses, right? The manufacture of your product or service so that there's profit. So I want you to understand this. I want you to understand the bear is the external resistance. So if you've got this mountain that you're going to climb, the mountain of success as an entrepreneur, you are going to deal with a lot of external resistance, bears. So imagine you're at the very base of the mountain. You're like, I've got this great idea. And if I could just get up to that flat plateau, I'm going to do well. And so you climb, and you see this bear, but looks like that you saw the bear, but the bear saw you, but the bear really isn't making any attempt to try and kill you. So you're like, cool, I'm going to go up there. The bear can live on its own, mind its own damn business. I'm going to mind my own business on this plateau. And life is good until you kind of look up and you realize, you know what? Looks like there's another level to this mountain and things look even better there. It's sunnier. The water looks fresher. It's not just a pool of water. It's actually a flowing river of water. There's different types of trees and berries that I could eat. There's all types of little critters and animals I can kill and cook. But oh, look, there's a different bear. So in your attempt to climb up to that next level of even greater success, of more abundance, this bear is not as docile as the other bear. This bear, on the other hand, is a little angrier. It's trying to claw at you. It's growling at you. But you manage to overcome the bear. And once you get past the bear, it allows you to live there. You live there long enough until you once again look up and you go, holy shit, there's another plateau to this mountain. It's almost like each plateau that you go to on the mountain You're able to see the next plateau where things are better. You can almost see more money, more opportunity. And inevitably, you go, I belong there. And you go, holy shit, look at that bear. The bear up there on that third plateau looks like it's angrier, looks like it's faster, it's growling louder, the teeth look bigger, the claws look more powerful. And as you're climbing there, that bear is swiping at you. It is like chomping at you. It's almost like it could predict what you're trying to do. You're trying to zig left, it goes left. You're trying to zig right, it goes right. But you somehow manage to overcome the bear and you get past it, and the bear lets you stay on that level. And you're like, all right, this is good. But guess what? Yet another level and yet another devil. New levels, new devils. And the bear is a metaphor. It is all of the external resistance that you're going to deal with as you climb the mountain of success. And each level of climb gets more difficult, more complex, more problems to solve, higher levels of complexity, more overwhelming, demands and requires more emotional, mental, financial capacity from you, requires more resilience and resourcefulness, and the ability to be relentless. And each time you look up, you see more opportunity, and you keep having to risk your life. What feels like, as an entrepreneur, you're risking your life, right? That is what entrepreneurship is. But understand that that external resistance isn't just marketing, sales, competition, the economy, the inflation, the interest rates, bad employees. It's not just that. Each level comes with higher levels of family members telling you you can't do it. People telling you that you're not qualified. People warning you that it's too risky, and what if you lose it all for your family and you guys end up destitute? See, external resistance isn't just in business. External resistance comes from friends and families who have the best of intentions for you. They mean well, but they're telling you that they doubt you. In not so many words, they're telling you that they doubt you. They're telling you that I don't think you have what it takes. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to work harder to get to that next level. You have to be willing to do that. This is why I tell you that while success is available to everyone, it's guaranteed to no one, because so many people stop at that second plateau where they know there's more levels. They know there's greater opportunities. They know financial success might be at the third, fourth, fifth, sixth level. They know that each time they go up, they have greater income, impact, influence, profits, more time freedom, more security for their family. But each time they go up, the bear becomes more fierce. The bear is external resistance. All of the things that will pressure you. Like in the franchising world with Fit Body Bootcamp, as I was building Fit Body Bootcamp up back in 2010, 2011, I had to deal with the state of California, right? Because Fit Body Bootcamp was initially a licensing program. By 2012, we became a franchise because the state of California said, hey, you can't be licensing out this Fit Body Bootcamp business model for gyms because you're giving people protected territories. Licenses cannot offer a protected territory. By offering a protected territory, you're operating as a franchise. And so we're going to charge you $2,500 per location that you have open. And by then I already had just over 100 locations open of licensed Fit Body Bootcamp locations across the country. You could imagine what over $250,000 in fine would have done to me. I begged, I pleaded, I literally argued with them that the only reason I gave a protected territory to my licensees was to make sure that one licensee doesn't overlap in the territory of another licensee so that they can be complementing to each other and not competitive. Because there are other gym brands out there that don't give any protected territories, and two locations will open across the street from each other and they'll just duke it out, and the corporate office was okay with it. And that's cool, man. What I'm talking about, by the way, was CrossFit. I think as far as I know, till this day, CrossFit does not give a protected territory to their affiliates, which is pretty much a licensing program. They license out the brand. It's not a franchise, right? And so if there's two affiliates within half a mile of each other, they're fighting it out. I didn't want Fit Body Bootcamp owners to do that. And so in my wisdom, I was like, oh, I'll just give like a 5 or 6 mile protected territory. But that automatically put me in this category of operating as a franchise while I wasn't an official franchise. And now the state of California finds me, and the Federal Trade Commission is like, hey, you can't do that. You have to become a franchise. And so for an entire year, I didn't sell a single location because the state of California allowed me to take time to convert from a licensing program into a franchise program. And they said, hey, we won't fine you as long as you don't sell another location. It took me about 11 months, almost a full year. I mean, tell me that's not resistance. The state of California is not resistance. The federal government, Federal Trade Commission wasn't resistance. The fact that I have 11 months that I can't bring in extra revenue by selling locations, all I can do is collect the monthly revenue from those 100 and some odd locations that I had open. But that is the resistance that you have to deal with. The reason we have hundreds of locations now across the United States and Canada is because I was willing to push through every single one of those plateaus where the bear showed up in my life while I was building Fit Body Bootcamp. Every single one of those plateaus was an opportunity for me to quit and give up, was an opportunity for me to throw in the towel, was an opportunity to go, you know what? The people around me are right. What the hell do I know about scaling businesses? What the hell do I know about licensing or franchising? So I decided that I'm going to be the best at franchising. I'm going to learn everything I can about franchising. I'm going to scale this business bigger, more profitable, create multiple income streams for my franchisees. And it's going to be an awesome gym to run where people's lives are transformed. The owners make money from multiple income streams, and they could open multiple locations because they're easy to run. Well, it's cool to have those thoughts, but now again, I've got to execute on them. More bears, new levels, new devils, right? Having to do that while there's other franchise brands out there. Having to do that while people around me are telling me, hey, the housing market just crashed. Think about that. 2010, 2011, the housing market had crashed. The economy had taken a massive dump just a couple years earlier. And there I am trying to build this Fit Body Bootcamp franchise brand, right? People told me I was crazy. They told me I'm nuts for maxing out my credit cards. They said that I should never have refinanced my house to take money on my house to start Fit Body Bootcamp. What am I doing with my family? Why would I put my family at risk like that? Could you imagine how I would have felt? But I did it anyway because I saw a vision in my head that they did not see. I had a feeling in my heart that they could not feel. And because of that, I felt a duty and an obligation to grow Fit Body Bootcamp, to give my family the financial freedom that they need, to take my passion for fitness and to share it with the entire nation, and then ultimately to expand into Canada. And now we are expanding worldwide. I had a vision, I had a feeling, and they could not see it and they could not feel it. And so they had doubt. And those doubts that they give you, your family members, your friends, the competition, all of those things are the bear. All of those things happen on your journey up. It takes 10 times longer, it costs 10 times more, you're gonna deal with 10 times the adversity. But the problem is, you underestimate how easy it's gonna be, and you overestimate how much money you're gonna make in such a short period of time. Don't do that. Like, you can't compare my 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of results to your first year. You can't launch a franchise or a supplement company, an apparel company and go, well, look where they are. I've been doing this for a year. How come I'm not there yet? You're not there yet because they've got 10 years, 15 years over you. Don't compare your first year to someone else's 10th year. Comparison is the thief of joy. Now, you might figure out that there's some modeling you can do. You can model successful companies. You can see what they're doing and reverse engineer their success and try and bring that into your company. But the moment you start comparing, you end up being a bear in your life, which that is the dragon. Guys, quick interruption to the show. Let me tell you all about the TRULEAN Wellness Shot. If you're like me and you care about your health, hydration, and building a strong immune system so you can stay active and you can get after it in life, then you want to try the TRULEAN Wellness Shot. I used to take 11 different supplements in the morning, things like vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, echinacea, ginger, and a whole bunch more. Now it's all included in the TRULEAN Wellness Shot. I want to send you a 30-day supply for 50% off. Just go to TRULEAN.com, use the code word BEDROS, my name, to get 50% off. You'll also get free shipping. You get a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, and $1 of every order goes to Shriners Children's Hospital. And when you use the code word BEDROS and do the subscribe and save, which is a TRULEAN Tribe program, every month you'll get a fresh supply of TRULEAN Wellness Shots for an additional 20% off and free shipping, and $1 of every monthly order will go to Shriners Children's Hospital. So go to TRULEAN.com, use code word BEDROS, and take advantage of this amazing offer. Now back to the show. Let's talk about that. Because it's not just the bear. As I told you, on your ascend up the mountain, you will deal with the bear. The bear at every level gets more wily, gets stronger, gets faster, more ferocious, more violent. And your job is to fight it and overcome it so that you can live a better life, make more money, have more impact, influence, have this brand that you could one day sell if you want. But guess what? The bear's job is to give you resistance. The dragon, on the other hand, lives within, because it's not just the bear when you're climbing the mountain. The dragon is all of the internal self-doubts. It is the self-esteem, the lack of confidence in yourself. It is all the little voices in your head that tell you you can't, you don't know how, you're not qualified. What if you screw up? The dragon is the internal resistance. The bear is the external resistance. So now imagine this. You are making this journey up the mountain because you know that every plateau life is better, more beautiful, more secure. You're happier. Like, you know, you will be happier up there at that next plateau. But the external resistance delivered to you by the bear and the internal resistance delivered to you by the internal dragon, all of your past feelings and traumas and thoughts and adversities and shortcomings and failures, all the times that you lied to yourself and said you're going to launch and get started and start doing it, you didn't. All those little L's that you have stacked, those losses that you have stacked, are now haunting you. That is the dragon, the inner critic, the inner bitch. That is the dragon whispering in your ear, you can't do it. You're not made for this. There's too much competition. Who says you even know how to be an entrepreneur? And you have to keep pushing through while the dragon whispers within and the bear growls on the outside. Who is willing to do that? Not many people. This is why success is not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed. It is available, but it is not guaranteed. Now, those of us that decide to push through the adversity of the internal resistance, push through the adversity of external resistance, we realize that it is going to take 5 and 10 times longer. It is going to be 5 and 10 times more expensive. The plan that we made went to shit long ago, as soon as we started to execute, and we continue to execute and figure it out and problem solve anyways. When we run out of resources, we get resourceful. Those are the ones. We are the ones who make it. And I share this with you because if you've got this hope and dream in your heart that you want to be successful, that you want to break out from this rat race of life where you're in debt, credit cards are maxed out, you have no passion and fulfillment in the work that you are doing, building someone else's business. You are not liked and you are not loved and you are not respected, you're not paid well. And you're wondering what did you do that got you here in this paid slave position? That's what it is. It's a paid slave position where you give off parts of your time, your life away for a given amount of dollar. And you're not respected, you're not thanked, you're not loved, you're not appreciated. Maybe you should be the one who decides to push against the bear, to fight against the dragon, and to start elevating in life. But it takes big balls, big boy. It takes big balls. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes discipline. It takes stopping the peasant lifestyle that you're living. I don't know of any one person who was successful that during their rise to success, the years of hard work, years, not months, years of hard work, when they saw no fruit from their labor, they kept going. I don't know any one person who also went to birthday parties and weddings and took weekends off and hit the bar and got a little tipsy, was smoking weed. Like all these people who built empires went to battle day and night, weekends. They had to break away from the people who lived normal lives. They had to disappear. They had to put their head down and they had to do the work. Even when people said, you've changed, you've sold out, you're different, you're not the same anymore, you're no longer fun. I remember when you used to be fun. Guess what? All of those people are the bear. They are the resistance. They don't want to see you change. They're threatened by your change. Don't you understand? Because if you change and transform, you become a mirror. You become a mirror that you reflect their inability to create financial freedom for themselves. You reflect the fact that they are unwilling to live their dreams, passions, purpose, fulfillment. You reflect that you were willing to chase your goals while they sold out on their goals, to eke by in life, to live a substandard life, to screen suck and live in this life of FOMO, fear of missing out. That's the difference between the us's and the thems. Them are willing to watch TV, fuck around on weekends, root for their sports teams as though they own the goddamn team. I've said this before. You wear the shirt of another man on your back. You wear another man's number. You wear another man's name on your back. And you root for your team as though you own the team. You don't own the team. You are a number to them. You are just a viewer, an audience member, someone warming up a seat that sold a ticket that pays their multi-million-dollar salaries. And good for them. And good for them. But sad for you, because you could have your own arena where you are the athlete, you are the professional, that people want to follow you and respect you and want to hear you speak and want to hear you share your wisdom and how you got there. And you know you're meant for this. If you're watching the show, if you're listening to the show, you know you're meant for this. But you keep thinking that it should be easier. You keep wanting it to be easier. You're frustrated because it took a few months. I'm telling you, it's going to take a few years. It's going to take a lot more money. It's going to take a lot more time. It's going to be far more frustrating. You're going to be alone. You and your business partners are going to break up. These are the things that you have to be dealing with. Family will tell you that they don't understand you, that they like the old version of you, the version of you that was not threatening, because you were docile and dumb like them. You were dopey and in debt and dependent like them. And now they're threatened by you. That is what it takes. This is why success is not for everyone, my friend. It is absolutely available to everyone, but it is guaranteed to no one. And a tiny, tiny, tiny percent of people make it to the top. And I have something to tell you. I'm 50 years old. I have many companies. I've built and sold other companies. I make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And when I look up, I see another plateau. And I see a very fucking angry bear. A bear that I don't recognize from all the other plateaus that I've climbed from. A bear that is far more fierce. A bear that is far stronger than I am. A bear that almost seems like it could outwit me and outthink me. But I know that I can overcome that bear, because I've got a track record of winning the battles against all the other bears. And in the process of fighting all those other bears and coming to the next level and the next plateau of success and fulfillment and financial freedom, and guess what I've done? I've been able to tame my inner dragon. I no longer have self-doubt. I know that when I say something, I'm going to do it. There is no breaking promises to myself. My reputation with myself is A++. I make a promise and I keep it. And that is because I've got a track record of winning. I've stacked W's for so many years. And make no mistake about it, during those years, I've certainly had my share of losses as well. But I need you to understand that that is the process of making it to the top. Don't for a moment think that you're all of a sudden going to get to a new level where you never run out of money. There are millions of entrepreneurs who are making more money at this level than at that higher level. And then they realize now that their product popped off and Costco wants them in all the Costco locations, and maybe all these ambassadors and influencers want to promote your product or service, you need more inventory. You ain't got no money, big boy. You have to go borrow money. You might have to sell the shit that you bought a couple years ago, your boat, your jet skis, your cars, your watches. You might have to go and take out an SBA loan. You might have to go and start selling off equity of your company to be able to overcome that next level. That is what it takes. But you think that once you've become successful and once you're profitable, that you stay profitable. You don't. You don't, because economies change, scales change. When all of a sudden you're manufacturing a product like this and all of a sudden it grows like that, I'll give you a great example. TRULEAN wellness shots. They became so popular a couple years ago, so popular that all of a sudden our manufacturer was like, sorry, we can't get turmeric and we can't get the specific cayenne pepper that you guys want. Here's a lower quality of it that we can access. And we're like, sorry, dude, not going to happen. And so we had to go find other manufacturers and renegotiate with them and take our formulation to them as well and have this guy make as many as he can with what he has and have that manufacturer make as many as he can. And the flavors have to match. And if they don't match, now we got to go to battle with them because now we have thousands of boxes of product where the flavors are mismatched. Like new levels, new devils. And it cost us more money because we had to buy tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of new bags of wellness shots. First world problem. I will take that first world problem all day long. Then the third world problem of, I got a few hundred boxes of wellness shots. How do I sell them, right? That problem we dealt with 5 years ago in the beginning. Today, it's a great problem to deal with. How many different manufacturers can take our formulation and make the wellness shot, make it to our specific standards so that the flavors match, so that when your bag arrives, it doesn't matter if manufacturer A, B, or C made it, it is all uniform, it is all consistent across the board. And could you imagine if all of a sudden Costco decides that they want to start selling wellness shots? How many multi-millions of dollars do I have to spend to get into Costco? New problems, new levels, new opportunities. I will make more money when that happens, but I will first have to solve many problems to get there. That is what it takes. So whether the problem is external or internal, my friend, understand that the problems will continue. They are there to reinforce your mental and emotional muscles. Your entrepreneurial muscles need the resistance, both internal and external, to get bigger, stronger, so that you have higher levels of capacity, of resilience and resourcefulness and relentlessness. That is what it takes, of discipline, focus, consistency, and delayed gratification, because without these traits, you will never make it. Entrepreneurship, business, success is an absolute battle. And many of you are going on the battlefield with a squirt gun and not even realizing it. What you need is to battle harden yourself. Understand it'll take longer, it'll cost more, you will deal with more. That is the price that we pay for the success that we have, the freedoms that we have, the financial freedoms, the mental freedom, the emotional freedom, the security we give our families, the experiences that we give, the charities that we donate to. This is what it costs. Remember, Dwayne Wade only gets paid because he can get the ball in the basket consistently, repetitively, over a long period of time. But he also needs to be a great team player, needs to jump, needs to run, needs to block, needs to set up picks, he needs to pass, He doesn't get paid for any of that stuff. You only get paid for done. And in our world, success, you get paid when you make a sale and you sell enough and you control your costs, where when you make that money and you have costs under control, that you have yourself great profits. And this is how you end up scaling many businesses over time. I hope this episode was valuable to you, for all of you who want to succeed in life. And it doesn't matter if that's success. I guess you can really take this episode and apply it in a relationship. Everything I just said here applies for a relationship. Everything I said here applies for a fit body, as in not a Fit Body Bootcamp franchise, but a fit, healthy, athletic body. Everything I said here applies for a great mental and emotional health. It's going to take time to overcome your shit. It's going to take time for you to heal. It's going to be harder. There's going to be things that will trigger you in the process of healing. Whether you work with a therapist or you read a book or you start journaling or doing interpretive dance, whatever it is you do to start healing, it will take longer, it will cost more, it will be more painful. The bear and the dragon exist, but you keep fighting the bear and keep going up to the next level, and you will have tamed the dragon. And when you tame the dragon, the bear no longer is a threat. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Bedros Keuilian Show. Remember, if you got any value from this episode and you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a comment, and like this episode. It's the only way we can fight the algorithms that are trying to suppress content like this so that you don't level up to the 2.0 higher level version of yourself. I want this content to reach more people. So if you can please do me a favor, it's free. It costs you nothing to subscribe, leave a comment, and like. It would mean the world to me. And always remember this, that average is the enemy, that success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch. I'll see you next time.